Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good morning, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a fantastic start to your Wednesday. This weekend, it is the return of the Grand Rapids Triathlon, one of the largest endurance competitions across the state of Michigan. And giving us a little bit of a preview of it today, this morning on the Live Desk, is John Conkling. He is the race director of the Grand Rapids Triathlon. John, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to chat.
Absolutely. Glad we were able to set this up. And John, first off, let's talk about the race itself. You know, this is a two-day event. Some of the less competitive, more focused on beginner races happening on Saturday, and then those Olympic-sized races and half races happening on Sunday. Talk to us a little bit about the differences and really the wide variety of races that you guys are offering this year.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, we are a two-day event. We have our short, very newbie-friendly day on Saturday, starting at 7 in the morning, ends at 10:30. That really caters towards new triathletes, people who are just getting into either endurance sports, or maybe they've done some 5Ks, 10Ks, or a bike race here and there, and they're starting to put those pieces together and want to try a triathlon. Very short distances, very achievable for most people. Again, very newbie-friendly. And then Sunday is catered towards people who have been in the sport for a while, much longer distances, our Olympic and our half distances, which goes all the way up to 70.3 miles. So it's a very long day for some of those folks. They put a lot of training and effort into it. We start at 7 and we don't end till 3:30. So we will have some athletes getting their money's worth and going almost all the way to that 3:30 time. So the whole weekend is really structured around all different types of athletes, ages, body types, you name it. You will see it all out there at GR Tri.
Right. No, and you know, with there being so much going on, there's a lot to kind of keep track of, and also a lot to look forward to, John. So I guess my question is, you know, what are you most excited to see? Is it really some of these more competitive races? Is it just seeing as many people out there as possible?
Of course, we love to get as many people to the event as possible, and we'll have 1,500 or more this year again, which is great. As you mentioned, we're one of the largest in the state. But the thing that we're really excited about this year is we have so many new triathletes coming to the Saturday event. Typically that day is a little bit smaller than Sunday, and we've seen that completely change this year. We have more than 25%, I think pushing closer to 30% now, brand new triathletes to the sport doing our event as their very first try. So the energy on Saturday is just amazing, and seeing those people cross that finish line for the very first time, there's really nothing like it, and that's really what we're looking forward to.
And you mentioned all those new athletes coming in and making this their first triathlon. Talk about really the growth of the popularity of triathlons in general. I know, coming from my own personal experience, I have met a lot of new people, a lot of people that are interested in triathlons and have just started getting into them. Sort of talk about and tell us, you know, your own personal view as somebody who sets up these races, just this, you know, growing wave of people who want to compete.
Absolutely. The really great thing about triathlon is it tends to pull in different endurance athletes from various sectors. So a lot of times injured runners will actually use triathlon as a way to cross-train. People who've done marathons for a long time, it starts to stress on their bodies a little bit. So, you know, they'll start swimming, they'll start biking, and then they start triathlons. We'll get different people who get involved with relays, which instead of swimming, biking, and running all just for one person, they might be a cyclist, and they might do the cycling portion and get a friend to swim and somebody else to do the run. So we'll get different pieces of the athletic community coming in, testing the water, so to speak, you know, in the sport, and then falling in love with it. It really is a great, challenging sport that has really great benefits for cross training. It's grown in popularity, as you've mentioned, the past 12, 14 years. More and more people are finding it. So that's why seeing that growth on Saturday with all these new triathletes coming in this year gives us a lot of hope for where this sport's going.
And of course, with this triathlon, you know, a lot of people are going to be excited to really just watch or even compete in the races themselves. But there's also another element, John, that I wanted to get into that I really did think was pretty great about the races happening. You guys have actually partnered with Make-A-Wish, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Talk about that partnership, how that came to be, and really what you guys are trying to do for them, and also the dream team element that people can also become a part of this weekend.
Absolutely. So we were fortunate to get connected with Make-A-Wish Michigan probably 6 or 7 years ago now. It's been quite a while. They had a local family who they were a Wish family. One of their kids, was a Wish kid. Um, Fortunately, got better after an illness, and then years later, the father, Dan Van Sciver, got into triathlon and really wanted to give back to Make-A-Wish since they had done so much for their family. He used GR Tri as the means to start some fundraising, got a small team together, and that team now has grown to this year we'll have more than 20, 25 of those dream teamers out there raising money to go directly to kids here in Michigan. So, Make-A-Wish Michigan is granting wishes in our backyard, in our state, and they use our event to raise money each year. To date, they've raised, I believe, over $75,000. I think they're pushing at least $8,000 or $10,000 this year, which is a wish for a kid. It costs a lot of money to do that. So just to help their efforts and to push that fundraising to grant these wishes are really, really important to us. They've been a super critical partner, and we will, support them throughout the weekend and keep supporting them into the future.
And once again, Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk, talking with John Conkling. He is the race director of the Grand Rapids Triathlon that is this weekend. John, for everybody watching who may be either interested in participating or maybe on the fence about it, what is sort of the best way for them to sign up and compete in one of these races? Again, this is a 2-day event, both Saturday and Sunday.
Correct. So right now, online registration is closed. However, you can sign up the day before each event. So we have a packet pickup and expo in downtown Ada this coming Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. It's outdoors in Legacy Park. If you're interested or maybe missed the registration window online, you can come down to the park during those times. You can register on site for the Saturday event on Friday. If you want to race on Sunday, you would come to the second expo that we will hold downtown Ada again, same location in Legacy Park along the river from 3 to 6 p.m. You can register there and then race Sunday. We do not have any day of registration. If you don't want to race, but you're interested in coming down and helping out, because this takes 300 to 400 volunteers to pull off every year. That's the size of most other triathlons in the area, just to give you a scope of the complexity of this. We need volunteers for sure. You can go to GrandRapidsTri.com. You can sign up to volunteer. You can work finish line, aid stations, really be a part of it to help the athletes get through their day, or just come down and spectate. It really is wonderful seeing people achieve their goals, crush their goals in some instances and get to that finish line. So we'd love to see people down there. We'd love to see volunteers. And if you did miss the online registration, you can definitely come down and register the day before each event for the following day's race.
Mm-hmm. And John, you seem very passionate about these races, obviously, as the race director, and you've done a fantastic job really explaining all the ins and outs and really the best parts regarding these races this weekend. But typically with these, would still like to turn the floor over to you now and really give you the final word. Why should people head on down to the Grand Rapids Triathlon this weekend to either compete, support the racers, or, as you mentioned, volunteer as well?
The biggest thing that we have found with these events is almost every single person that we have talked to at one point or another thought that they couldn't do a triathlon. And that's universal. It doesn't matter if they've been doing these for 20 years or if they're a first timer this year. Everybody has that thought. It seems like it's too hard to do 3 things, let alone one thing, and get to a finish line. I can assure you that if you come down, check out the event, spectate, volunteer, just be a part of it, you will see people from 12 years old upwards of 80 years old and more crossing our finish lines. All types of body shapes, sizes, you name it. It is completely possible to do a triathlon and to get into more of a health and wellness lifestyle. It's very easy. It's a wonderful community, and we would love to see people down there to check out the event and see what it's all about.
Right, couldn't have said it better myself. John, thank you so much for being here. And I want to remind everybody watching that if you have any more questions or curious to learn more about the Grand Rapids Triathlon this weekend, you can find everything you need to know right now over on our website, woodtv.com. We've got everything, all the links to the Grand Rapids Triathlon website there as well. If you're watching us on Facebook, just head on down to the description box or the comment section. You'll find that link there as well. John, once again, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And I want to thank everybody else for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.